Hey y'all, I'm actually doing this first thing in the morning after I wake up. I have some time, maybe 10 to 15 minutes to work on finishing this. Before I move to the other character, I did notice one detail that I need to fix on Rockwell here, is that the bow is actually not being held up by anything. It's just kind of floating on his back. And I want to fix that, I want to make it make sense, so let's add a strap here. So I'm just going to bring it over his shoulder here. I'm going to follow the form of his body. And again, we want him to feel heavy, and it's going over the leather armor here. So I guess I want to make it like an adjustable sling um, type of strap. So maybe we'll put like a couple buckles or something on the front. So I'm now going to erase what's inside there. And then maybe just a simple buckle right here. I do wear a sling bag, a front bag. I really like front sling bags, just because it's easy access. It's very difficult to remove backpacks from both your arms, especially if you have a large backpack. But with a small sling bag in the front, you can usually just like open up one zipper and then immediately pull something out. I don't know when new iPads are coming out, but I plan on getting one as soon as they come out. And if they come out with a new large iPad, like right now there's an iPad 12.9-inch iPad Pro, which is what I would have wanted to get if I didn't think new ones were coming out soon. Apple.com actually released an announcement. They didn't say what the announcement is, but they're having an announcement on May 7th. And they have a picture of like a hand holding an Apple Pencil. So I'm assuming that might be iPads. But we'll see. I'm going to tune in the morning, 7 in the morning on May 7th, and find out what it is. I'm hoping it's some kind of iPad announcement. And if there is one, I'm going to be getting the best one, going to deck it out, get the maximum gigabytes and get an engraving on it and everything. But yeah. I remember these gloves are supposed to be fingerless too. So let's make sure we get that detail in. Okay. So I think this character is good. Almost good to go. There's a little bit down here that we can add in. The boots. Okay. That's good. I think, is he done? Yeah, I'm going to review a lot more later, but now we'll start the last lineup for Kiyomi here. Now I got a little bit of extra background in this character here and his backstory, his family, the types of I don't quite remember but the types of conflicts he had. I don't have it all memorized, but it did give some insight into like what he's been through, and that he actually might have a scar somewhere. Well, it's actually my choice if I can add in some kind of scarring, maybe on his neck or something. I don't want this to be too angular here. There, something like that. This might be a bit better. Now I have yet another attempt at the eyes. I don't usually do like very anime eyes. I usually keep eyes simple. It's like the Ghibli way of just doing a circle and then like just making a highlight there. I don't do like the super detailed, pretty multicolored anime eyes. I only really do that if I'm like if I'm doing like maybe a face only or and it's pretty close. But if I'm far away like this, I just keep it simple. That could be one of the reasons why a lot of people tell me my style looks like Ghibli. I mean, in general, I think the way Ghibli draws is very efficient. I mean, obviously, because Miyazaki is an animator, um, and the way he breaks down forms in bodies and faces makes a lot of sense to me. So I just kind of copied it, and it stuck. You know, as an artist, you well, we tend to draw in the way, using drawing inspiration from the artists we find their art is appealing. So for me, it started off, I'm really mainstream. So it started off with Dragon Ball Z. Okay, I need to stop undoing. It started off with Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball. That's what my first interest was, and I copied the way that those animators in Toriyama drew. And then after that, it was like Naruto. I drew a little bit of Pokemon, but not that much. I tried drawing styles other than Dragon Ball when it came to anime, but I just wasn't very good at it. I could only draw the mainstream shonen anime, and they usually have very distinct styles, which are a little bit easier to imitate, in the sense that they're more unique. So it's like, okay, I can just copy that. Whereas a lot of other anime kind of look similar, and when I tried to draw it, it just looked like I didn't know how to draw. Um, but when I was copying Dragon Ball Z, at least like some of the stuff like made more sense. Like the noses was like that, and the eyes was like that, like like that. There was a very specific way that they drew things. But over time, and after learning like anatomy and going to school, um, One Piece was another big one. I kind of adopted parts of the weird style of One Piece. What I learned the most from One Piece manga was like the way he did hatching like on muscles. Oda would do like, if there was a bicep here, he would do the shading like he would use a lot of like hatching lines like that, and that was informative to me when I looked at that. So here, let's get the neck a little bit wider, just a little bit. Still want him to look youthful. And then we're going to get a little bit of hair falling down here, because he does have supposed to have long hair. Maybe not all of it is. The prompt said messy bun, so it's like we can get some of it coming out here. Yeah, I think that looks good. Do we want to erase this part? No, we'll keep it. It's anime. Okay. Now here, I have to remember that I was changing the way the cloths like draped over him because of the form of his chest. So we'll alter that slightly. So I always have to very consciously think about not undoing. And I do, there is a pretty significant change when I'm actually thinking about it. I don't know if you guys have noticed right now, but I'm really trying not to undo. And even if my strokes might feel slower, ultimately there will be a speed increase because I do notice whenever I play back myself, I waste a lot of time like undoing and doing these fast strokes and trying to get the perfect one when there's a better way. But at the same time, there's a lot of concentration needed when I'm doing it this way, because I'm looking at the form of the arm and trying to wrap around it. And that's good. I'm trying to pursue challenge here, and if I was just autopiloting this, I would be undoing all the time, and I wouldn't really necessarily be improving. If there's an autopilot that you can get something right without thinking, then it's not a challenge, and I'm not improving. There's like a formula that puts you in a flow state. Like if you're making mistakes, I think 15% of the time, if you're pursuing 100% accuracy, but you're achieving about 85%, then that amount of challenge is ideal. That's according to studies that I learned from Dr. Andrew Huberman. Because obviously you're not going to be making mistakes on purpose. But if something is challenging enough where you're getting it right you're getting a solid B as a grade. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. Then that's an ideal challenge. And I wonder, how many strokes am I undoing and how many strokes am I keeping? So if it actually could be less than 85% accuracy that I'm getting, which is bad. It could be a lot less considering how many strokes I undo and how many I keep. I could be getting like something like less than 40 or 50% accuracy. So in order for me to pursue more accuracy would be just to concentrate on the line, try to get it right. And this is why I'm able to do these commissions in 1 hour at anime conventions, because there's permissible error. Like, it doesn't have to be as perfect as I make it digitally, because I'm just trusting my stroke, and if the stroke looks a little bit messed up, it's like, okay, I trusted it and there it is and I can't erase it. So I have no choice. Now the wrist here is actually probably gonna curve up a little bit that way. And then also it might be curved a little bit this way. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do a hand here, fully armored, so these fingers are going to have the sort of folding plate armor. That finger might be a bit too long. A lot of concentration needed here. And I have to kind of put myself in the inking mindset, like, this is a permanent stroke. As much as possible, I know I'm doing digitally, so I know I can erase things, and I know it could look better. But basically, trying to get permanent strokes, I don't know. It's like I have to put myself in the traditional art mindset. Like, this finger looks messed up to me. It looks too wide, I want to erase it, so. But then I'm redoing these strokes and it's like, oh, they're all bad, so, this level of accuracy is very low. So let's think first. Let's pre-visualize. You know what it is? No, I think that's fine. It's been pretty much 10 minutes already, so I'm gonna stop soon. And I think I can knock this line art out later today, because I do have time later in the afternoon. Yeah, this is doable. Yeah, and when I zoom out again, it looks fine. Like the amount of detail in the fingers looks fine. That's the danger of zooming in. So I'm gonna keep it maybe around this level of zoom as I continue. But I gotta get indoors soon. Gotta start some food prep and chores and stuff. So we'll stop there. And again, we are doing the details of the line art, kind of finishing off the line art for these two characters. I'm gonna quickly put in a base color for Rockwell 2. Sort of switch gears here and just use that color fill tool that I discovered. And we're also gonna group these two layers together and call it Rockwell Final. And then what I'm going to do here is use that fill tool, freehand color fill. And I'm going to set a base color. We'll just set it to a middle gray. It's the easiest. And then make sure that's working. Okay. So this is the method. I'm tapping the pencil or drawing. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go around this way. And then we're going to close it. There, we closed it. So it's not perfect, but I can just brush in the rest. Whoa, how come that's a different color already? Is it because of my brush? Oh, it looks like this brush is layering on itself. So let's see, if I use like a light brush, is it gonna layer on itself? Ooh, I don't like that. That means any color can go all the way to black. Oh, it's because I'm on my inker brush. I need to go to my painting brush. But I didn't know that about my inker brush, that it does that. That's interesting. It doesn't keep the true color. Well, anyway, we'll go to Opus Color. Keep it small here. Okay, we'll do this again. And let's do his whole upper body here. I usually just stop it when I feel satisfied. You can kind of see the marquee growing as I go around his body. Okay. I'll clean up the edges later. I'll just do a big section. This one I think I can just brush in myself. Yeah. Okay. We're getting there. I think I don't even have to deselect. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even have to deselect. Just keep going. Do it all in one big selection. I think it counts as one undo though. Let's see. Oh yeah, it counts as one whole action. But that's okay. Doesn't really matter as long as I get all the colors in. Whoops, what happened there? Whoa, how come it's not? Oh, I have to close it. I have to tap the dot to close it. I was pressing the wrong thing. Now for parts like this, I kind of have to think about my pen. Like anything on the immediate pixels on the lower right corner of the pen, I can't see because of the way I'm holding the pen. So I don't, maybe for this inking part, it's better to go from bottom to top actually, just so that I can always see the pixels. That's an interesting fix that I never thought of before, but I'll note it down that going from bottom to top makes this process easier. And I guess going like counterclockwise, I don't know, but that's fine, and then I'll just kind of clean up these edges later. But that's it. That's how I set my base colors, and then I use masking tools and alpha locks to stay within this base border that I created. We'll stop there. We are getting, I would say, a little bit more than halfway through the project here. My coloring process, I usually don't like to be super painterly and get really detailed, but we'll try to improve on that too. I usually keep things anime and just keep it like maybe 2 or 3 colors, like one flat base color and then one flat shade and then maybe a highlight color. But we'll try to paint a little bit more, especially like on these flowy pants. So yeah, we'll stop here and I'll talk to y'all later. God bless. Bye-bye.